Hello,
Hey, Hill Days.
welcome back.
Welcome to Healing Uncut.
This is a podcast about the messy side of healing.
Yes, I'm Chrissy.
And I'm Dream. And
Whew.
we're they like,
I'm
oh
back in my eye. It just won't let me be great.
man, it's like that sometimes.
How are you feeling today? Let's check in.
All right, so when I looked at the wheel, I mean, I feel happy. I definitely recognize that I'm not showing that I'm happy, but I do feel happy. Um, And I guess if I would dig deeper, I would say I feel accepted. Because I finally found a site for my internship, meaning that graduation is almost here. So I'm super excited. I was definitely paranoid about it.
Yeah.
Um, and I wasn't sure what was going to happen or where I was going to be. But had my interview. They finally got back to me yesterday and all set. So I'm super excited. We start seeing clients in like a few months, like 2 months. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling overall. How about you?
That is great. I am on the opposite. I am, excuse me. The big word is sad. And then if I had to dig deeper, it was, it said lonely and which one? What was the other one? I feel isolated. Yeah, isolated, depressed. Since my um my family came down, so I'm out here in San Diego by myself. Um and my family came for my mom's birthday, and that was like 2 weeks ago.
Mhm.
But it was like a real high, like a super high, and then they left, and then I'm just like, I am back here by myself again.
Mm.
And it's been hard trying to get out the funk. It's like this transition has been hard just from being, I love DC.
Yeah.
I was 6 hours away, like 6 hours away from home.
Mhm.
So they would pop up, I would take a trip. Like that drive is literally nothing at this point. Um, and so just being over here where it's like I don't have friends, I don't know anybody. My husband's always working. I'm like, this is tough.
Mhm.
It's been a struggle to say the least. So that's what. And that kind of segues into our thing because I'm grieving my old life.
Mm. Mhm.
So this episode we're talking about grief, and we didn't have this on the list, but I'm like, now that I'm saying it out loud and I'm really thinking about it, I miss being in the city, coming and going as I please, just, linking with friends, brunch or Taco Tuesday, like wine down
I
Wednesdays.
was just about to say, hello.
So I truly, and it's not that I'm not grateful. It's not,
Mhm.
I don't want to seem like I'm not grateful, like grateful for my marriage, grateful for becoming a homeowner, you know,
Mhm.
but now that I'm thinking about it, I am grieving my old life. I'm grieving
Yeah.
that.
I definitely feel like that's normal. And I guess part of the reason why, we decided to do this episode today. because there's not a lot of emphasis put on grief to
Mhm.
like society. But a lot of us are grieving. We all have lost something, whether it's something material or, like you said, an old life, or someone that you love. So it definitely could show up in many different areas, and it's definitely um, something that we have to kind of work through and figure out how to adjust to it instead of trying to avoid it, because it's just going to make life harder. Um, and you'll just be sitting with those deep dark emotions and trying to figure out why are you so sad, or why you're depressed. So it's definitely good to work through grief and talk about it.
Yes. So let's talk about it. I think we can start with um, friendship.
Okay.
Um, as I know everyone experiences this as they become adults.
Mhm.
The adulting schedule is ridiculous. It gets so crazy. Your friends start getting married, they start having babies.
Mhm.
They're getting promotions at work, they're starting their own business. And so the different aspects of life are just, it's no longer just, come over, spend a night, stay up all night. Like,
Let's go to the calf together.
yes. So it's like, I'm like, everybody goes through this. And so I think, you know, grieving, this is something that everybody experiences. And that's like the lighter side of it. That's not even friends you outgrow.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
And that is,
That's a tough one.
I'm like, and that hurts.
Yeah, it does. I was just like, you have to be real about it. It does hurt. Like, you gotta accept that it hurts, and it's okay.
Yeah. I I try to hold on to people. Uh I've had to learn to get out of that. I think I'm not trying to jump subjects, but it's just as a growing up,
Mhm.
family members just kept dying. And it was just, I was like, that was kind of, it's traumatic because we didn't talk about it. It was just like, oh, Auntie so and so died. Oh, your grandma died. We going to the funeral. I honestly don't think we had conversations about, well, I think like how we really feel is more so like, well, she's in heaven now, God's will be done. You'll you're sad today. You'll be all right in time. And that was just like,
Got it.
it was really surface. And so just, it's like death used to scare me. And
Mhm.
so when
It
I
still scares me, to be honest.
really,
Yes.
oh, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna pause. Do tell.
I mean, honestly, I think for me, it scares me because as a kid, like I used to think at certain points that um it was either life or death for me in the situations that I was in when it came down to like abuse. So it was always in my mind, like I'm not gonna die, or this person is not gonna kill me. So it was just the way that I kind of learned. So even now, if I get in situations where I feel like I may be in danger, the first thought in my mind is like, oh, I'm not gonna die. Even though, going to heaven and all that stuff, of course, is better than earth and all those things, but it's still something that's just like, I don't know. I'm just That's just how I kind of felt about it.
I feel you on that. My being in those situations, I it's like a switch flips.
Hmm.
And when I really feel in danger, and I'm like, I can't, there's no way to sugarcoat this. It's like, it's gonna be you. It ain't gonna be.
That's exactly it. I'm like, because I'm not young. So he's going to die. It
So
ain't gonna be me.
you wanna like, I am going to take you out.
Mhm.
And I remember like I had got to like this is so crazy, just I'm thinking about it. Like I told my dad, like, I don't know how old I was, but I was a teenager at this point, like almost like getting ready to graduate.
Mhm.
I was like, yo, you put your hands on me again, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
And he was just like, you're disrespectful, that mouth, da da da. And I was like, I'm not hearing none of that. Put your hands on me. I'm gonna take you out, bro. I'm not gonna think twice. You would do that to your dad, and I was just like, look how you act.
Mhm.
Like I can't. I said I'm not about to. I'm not gonna be scared of you no more. Like when you get in these, when you get how you get, I'm
All
gonna
life
get
goes
how
out the
I get.
window. Right.
It's just like I. So I guess it's just like you build up so much, and I think from that point forward, I had to I think I took that stance with everybody.
Mhm.
Like if you put me in danger and it's like and I feel like it's me or you, it's gonna be you. Like I'm gonna black out. That's the reasons
Yeah.
like I had to stop. Like I'm like in Buffalo, like, oh Jesus. And I'm like, I'm telling myself, like I used to be fighting with my cousins, like, oh, yo, meet us on such and such. Bet we there. Like,
Mhm. Yeah.
and then when I got into that fight in college, like I could have killed that girl. And
Yeah.
and,
Speaking of that, yeah, it definitely brought back
and
memories.
I remember the this guy, whoever was out there, this guy, he pulled me off her and he was like, yo, you won, you got it. Like, damn.
Oh, that.
And I was like walking away, and this girl that I was in I'm singing in the choir, right? This girl,
Yeah, church choir. That the church choir at school. This is what she's talking about. Always at Bible study and choir practice. It was hilarious.
and so I was walking away, and she was like, "Oh my God, Christina, like that is not you. That is like." In that, she's like, that's not who God called you to be. I can't. She was like, she was hurt that it was like I don't know. I'm guessing she saw a monster or something, but she was like, she was literally in tears. And she was just like, I'm like, yo, like, it was six girls out there beating somebody. Like, it was a whole gang of them. But
Yeah.
regardless of the fact, I think like I went ham. Like,
Mhm.
and I don't think I may have gotten to like a few tussles after that, but ever since then, it was just like, wow, you like why are you so you are angry, like there's something in there for you for it to flip like that.
Yeah.
I remember, and that stuck with me, that really stuck with me. She was like, you did not come here for that, and that's not what we're about. And I felt bad, like I felt convicted in that moment. I really did. Like I'm like, yo, what I'm supposed to do? Shorty show up at my door.
Right. I feel threatened.
But I did. I was just like, yeah, you was wilding. You
When your thinking brain comes back, you can sit and process and
yeah,
think about it, but not in the moment.
yeah.
What's crazy about that is when that situation was happening, I was in the dorm. I went back to the dorm to find some scissors, a knife, or something because I was determined that I was definitely about to stab somebody. Because I don't know if you remember, but moving around with Carl, I think, were you with us? But somebody like punched him and he was like
When we were
dragged out.
coming back from
We was right in front of Slow.
okay.
after a house party. And when that happened, girl, we went back to that dorm. Only thing, I was definitely furious. I'm like, I wasn't thinking about nothing, but I gotta go back to my room. I gotta go to my room. Like, I gotta find a knife. I gotta find some scissors. I was like, so serious. So, like, for me, I guess I got into a fight once, but my go-to was like, I would grab knives.
Mm.
And it started really, the first time I did it was I just really got tired of the abuse. And I was like, oh, this is your last time putting your hands on me? I grabbed a knife and I was dead ass about to really stab him. And I'm like, it really took my grandma telling me to like chill out. Or I don't know where I would have been, but I don't know if I would have been sitting here. So God is definitely amazing. Um, and then a few years after that in middle school, I definitely took a knife to school because these girls were trying to jump me. So I'm like, it's two of y'all and it's one of me. Okay, bet. Like, I got something. Y'all not about to try to beat me up or whatever the case is. Like, nah. So yeah.
It's crazy how trauma could take you to that point, like, or even bring it out. Like, that is wild.
I think you learn too once you know like how you are, at least for me,
Yeah.
like knowing how, like you said, it could just be a switch just flip all of a sudden and you just
Yeah.
blank out, like knowing that if I get to a certain point that that's where my mind's gonna go, like I try to like control my environment. Like I don't really get into stuff. Like I'm not really messy. Like most of the time I'm just chill, mellow. So I'm like, if I ever get into confrontation, it's because somebody brought it to me. Because I'm like, I don't like confrontation. Like mm-mm. Because I know if I were to get too angry, like I know what that looks like. So, of course, healing has fixed that, but it's just like, yeah, like nah, like I gotta change my environment because like you really don't want this.
That is so wild. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah,
uh,
understand.
yeah. Um, my getting back to like, I'm thinking about death. So I was saying, like, we when we were younger, we were losing family members. I really didn't understand it. It made me scared. But um, when I was 17, my cousin, like, now it was three of us,
Mm-hmm.
partners in crime, always together. And she's older. She's the oldest of us three. She got pregnant. She had a baby, and that was my goddaughter.
Uh-huh.
And my goddaughter died of SIDS,
Hmm.
and I could not. My brain couldn't process that. Like, and the lady, I remember the lady at the hospital, like, she's a nurse, and I'm like, what is this? Like, I don't understand. And she's like, it's more common than you think. Like, I don't know, they forget how to breathe or something.
Yeah,
Or,
you have to lay them a
oh,
certain way. That's
huh?
definitely your mind. I say you have to lay them like on their backs. Nothing in the crib. I feel like definitely the first year you paranoid about it because you never know.
Paranoid, but that, wow. Um, I think that was like a rough, like, I think that's when losing someone to death, like, it really started taking a toll. And then that same cousin, her mom died.
Oh
That
wow.
was my favorite aunt. And I, again, didn't deal with it properly.
Right.
Did not deal with that properly. And I don't know. I think we're going to be agents, like in our family and in our communities, because if something happened, like if that was to happen now, like with your twins, I know you would handle it differently.
Oh
Um,
yeah, definitely. Girl, I'll be up there trying to have them doing all types of things. We'll definitely be doing some stuff.
and it's not something that just like buries and weighs down, but that you lose a piece of yourself is like, you know, going over her house, or we're going out to eat and IHOP was our place. Like it just little things. Um, when you just you're losing staple family members, it truly hurts. And I think my last my grandmother was a straw that like kind of sent me to spiral out.
Mm-hmm.
I know I have to get help because when she died, I felt like my lungs was punctured, like I can't breathe.
Mm-hmm.
Breathing. Nothing makes sense. So I just think what helps and what we need, like our listeners to know, is that you have to talk to somebody. You got to vent. You have to get it out. Don't feel embarrassed to, um, people grieve in different ways, but
Mm-hmm.
if that's all you can talk about, well, hey, you need to talk about it
All right.
out. If you're, um, I don't know, but seek help. That's what I can say.
Yeah, you definitely need help, especially because a lot of us weren't taught how to go through the grieving process. So you really don't know what to do. Most times it's just like, oh, try to forget it, or you don't want to talk about it. But it's kind of like that's not what to do. Um, and sometimes, I mean, you just have to figure out what is going to work best for you to receive, peace in that area. And sometimes it's hard, extremely hard. Um, I did lose my grandma, but she was 95, and I'm not gonna lie, because I knew that she was so old and she was extremely healthy.
Hmm.
I started preparing myself honestly years before because I'm like, I've never really lost a lot of people. Like you said, you lost a lot of people growing up. That really didn't happen to me. So I'm like, if she go, and we were super close. So I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna handle it. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. So I like had to I decided to start preparing for it like years in advance, just in case. And then I was always paranoid when my mom would call me because I just felt like she was going to tell me that she was gone. So of course I just lived in anxiety for mad years. But when I finally did get the call, it was first of all it was traumatic because it was on my twins day of my twins' birthday party, and they were definitely her favorite. Yes, and it was just like wow, like it really happened.
Mhm.
I was just I really feel like I definitely just zoned out, and I was like it did kind of help me because I knew she was 95. Yeah, I know she lived a good life. So I thought about those things. And then I thought about the fact that, people get older, they start saying they just want to go to heaven, want
Mhm.
to be with God. And she was the youngest of her siblings. So all her friends had passed already, her siblings, her parents. So I'm like, okay, she'll be back with them. Um, but just thinking about the manner in which she died is that like that honestly was the part that hurt more because I'm like, none of us were there. We don't know if she suffered for how long, if she like immediately died because she fell, and she started bleeding on the brain. So it's just like, hopefully, she didn't she didn't feel none of that and she instantly, I guess mine went out, hopefully, but I mean, we never know.
Right.
But that was the part. It's like, dang, like I felt bad because I'm like I wasn't there to help her,
Mm,
and you know you don't get to say goodbye, so it's like all right. But I did get to see her, in the hospital, and I was happy that I was able to tell her that I found a church home, and I was like, and I'm saved, so I was like, I just wanted to let you know that, and I was like, I never let the twins forget you, so I felt good in being able to tell her that, and just like to hold her hand while she was still there,
mm,
but it definitely did hurt, but I was just happy, and I let her know that, like I was definitely gonna be sad that she was gone, but I was happy that, she got what she wanted or whatnot. But
yeah.
that was hard, especially to see her, you know, in that way. It was definitely a traumatic situation. But yeah, I'm like grieving after it was definitely interesting because I definitely went through all the stages,
Mm,
but I didn't really do a lot. I guess I felt peace in knowing that while she was here, like I spent time with her.
mm,
I helped her out around the house. Like I did things for her.
yeah.
Even her spend the night with me. She got to see my kids. Like she got to see me get married, even though we ain't together now. But so I kind of tried to focus on those things that kind of helped so that I wouldn't be so stuck on the fact that she was gone. But it still hurt, like nonetheless.
It does. It truly does.
We
Um,
gotta do a part two because we ain't even finished.
girl.
We didn't even really talk. I'm like, we didn't even really talk about. I feel like you didn't talk about your dad. I'm like, I definitely got to talk about my best friend because that is hard. That honestly, losing my best friend was harder than losing my grandma. Like, totally just unexpected, really unexpected. Like,
Yes, that, and I think that's the thing. W-
I
Be,
was fucked up. I ain't gonna lie. I was.
but just before we close out on this part one, uh,
Yeah.
I want to leave you with Psalms 34:18. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. And we're still, that pain it does not go away. And so it doesn't go away. But I think you're able to navigate better. And
Mhm. And adjust to life, what life looks like.
right.
Basically, how to live with it because it's just a part of your life now.
So we'll be back for a part two. We gotta come back.
Yeah. All right.
All
We
right.
later. Bye.
Stay.